Howdy, brothers and sisters out there in YouTube land. This here is Grateful Panic, and I've got another video for you guys today. And today we're going to be taking a look at the Benchmade Aileron. So stick around, guys.
They was pathetic. It's a shame those boys can't be more copacetic.
Alright guys, so like I said, we're going to be taking a look at the Benchmade Aileron today. And this knife comes courtesy of Zach over at the YouTube channel Zach Stuff. And I will be dropping his link to his channel in the description below, so definitely go check him out. He's got a really great channel, really good videos. Like I've said before, he packs a lot of information in a short amount of time. So if you don't have a lot of time in your busy schedule, he's a great channel to check out. He's a great channel to check out anytime, but especially if you're kind of short on time, because like I said, he packs a whole bunch of information in a short amount of time, and you will definitely get a good feel for whatever knife he is reviewing. And before we get down to the nitty-gritty and check out this aileron, let's go ahead and get this panic dump out of the way and let you guys take a look at what I was carrying today. And today, in my pocket, I had this guy right here. And I also had in my Holladay Leatherworks slip the GEC number 78 American Jack. And a new addition, because my high-speed non-tactical zebra pin broke in my pocket the other day, and I needed a new pin, and I've been wanting to check one of these out, and I found one at a good price, so I picked up one of the Fisher space pins, and so far I'm digging it, and it's in raw brass, so I'm looking forward to getting a little patina on that guy. I'm not the biggest fan of gold-colored things, but I do like brass, and I prefer copper. If they'd had this in copper, it would have been on like Donkey Kong, but I'm definitely looking forward to seeing the patina on that guy there. And also in my pocket, I had the Doc Holladay, dang, I just totally had a brain fart, experiment sheath with the TC Barlow, and the Olight S1R Baton 2, and I also had a new Hank from Sharp Spot Hank. So if you guys are looking for an EDC Hank, definitely go check those guys out, because they make some killer Hanks at some even more killer prices. I mean, their pricing is just outrageous for what you get. The quality of these things, it's kind of like Doc. I mean, you get way more than you pay for, and they're good people, just like Doc is. So definitely go check them out, and I will have the link to all of their pages and sites in the description. And on my belt today, I had the Shooty Custom once again. I've been using this guy a lot. I don't know if you can see it. Starting to get a little patina on him. This is an excellent blade. And that leads us right up into the What Am I Drinking segment. And today I'm drinking on a little bit of Overly Friendly IPA from Holy City Brewing. That's some tasty stuff. I'm trying to drink other things than my Doghead Fish American Beauty, because I'm trying to hold on to that for as long as I can, because that stuff's hard to come by. Alright, and another little bit of news for the Grateful Panic family. I finally picked up a new scale, so you guys know what that means. that right there, that goes out to our good friend and Grateful Panic family member, Brother Tojo, because back when I first started having problems with that pesky scale, he made a comment along the lines of, it's probably about time to take it out back and put it out of its misery. So, and I made a promise right then and there that when I got a new scale, I would do just that. So that's for you, Tojo. Thanks for everything you do, buddy, and thank you for your support. All right, so let's get on down to the nitty-gritty here and take a look at this aileron, guys. And before we get to the meat and taters, we're going to go ahead and get the boring stuff out of the way and get you guys a list of specifications. And what we're looking at is an overall length of 8.03 inches. We have a blade length of 3.45 inches. We've got a cutting edge of 3 1/8 inch. We have a blade width of 1 1/4 inch and a blade thickness of 120 thousandths. Excuse me, sorry about that. We've got a handle thickness, or a handle width, I'm sorry, at its widest point at 1 1/4 inch, and we've got a handle thickness of 540 thousandths, so a little bit over 1/2 inch. Material wise, we're looking at black G10 for the handle scales. We've got black coated hardware all the way around. We've got a black coated deep carry pocket clip. Got a nice little lanyard hole here. It is open construction. We've got 2 black coated barrel spacers. If you can see, there you go, you can see that now. It is an axis lock, and it is a manual opening knife with a thumb hole, and we'll get to the other opening, the other way of opening here in just a little bit. Blade wise, we've got a nice drop point blade in CPM S30V with a nice saber grind. It is, and I'm a little confused because Blade HQ, and it probably was just a different model of this knife, but they were calling it a satin finish, and what I'm seeing is a pretty aggressive stonewash finish that I really dig. I think it's a nice stonewash on this blade. I think it looks really, really good. Let's go ahead and try out this new scale and get you guys an actual weight. And this one's fancy. It talks to you. It tells you hello. And we are looking at 4.19 ounces. And that equates to 118.9 grams for our friends across the pond. Cut that guy off. Well, so far so good with that little fella. And like I said, this is manual opening. It's what I would call, depending on your usage of this knife, if it's a utility knife, I would call the primary opening method the thumb hole, and it flicks open really good with that thumb hole, and you are able to spidey flick it very well. As far as a utility blade aspect goes, the secondary method would be this texturing that they laser etched on the blade. And the purpose behind this knife, if you didn't know, a lot of you probably already know, but for those of you who don't know, this knife, Benchmade collaborated with Steve Tarani, who is an advisor to several government law enforcement agencies. He's a bladed weapons expert. He's written several books on the subject. He's come up with, several of his own, I guess, methods of defense against bladed weapons, defense using bladed weapons. And what they wanted to do was design a knife primarily for aviation personnel, whether it be, oh, sorry there, Paul, whether it be, flight deck troops, pilots, both commercial and military, and they wanted to provide an all-around knife for, you know, utility and from a tactical aspect, self-defense. And this, the purpose behind this little bit of traction here, which is not, I mean, it's really, really grippy. Looking at it, you wouldn't think it would be, but I mean, it's super grippy. And the purpose behind that is their advised or main method of opening is the Tarani two-handed opening method. And the way that goes, and this is going to look kind of weird because I'm not standing up, you're not going to get the full effect, you're just seeing my hands on camera. But the way it goes is, you know, standing facing somebody, when you pull this knife from your pocket, you know, and you have it in your hand like this, instead of using the thumb hole to open it, you basically, in kind of like one fluid motion, you deploy the knife and put yourself in a position of defensive posturing. So you have the knife like this hand reaches over, and this is going to be kind of slow-mo, this hand reaches over and grabs that tech string right there, and you just kind of flick it out, which I know that looks silly because all you're seeing is my hand, so you're not seeing basically the way your position is supposed to end up is your strong hand holding the knife is basically going to end up with the knife deployed in the high ready position, and your weak hand is going to be kind of in the low ready position, and you're, you know, just going to kind of have a defensive posturing against any would-be attacker. So kind of, I guess, in fast motion, it's going to look a little bit something like that. And honestly, I think that's pretty cool, and I think that equates well for, you know, guys and gals in the aviation industry. And like I said, you know, they collaborated with not only Steve Tarani, but people in the aviation industry, both pilots and folks from the flight deck. And you know, they took everybody's input, and this is what they came up with. And I think that's pretty cool. And also, I think it's cool that, you know, this is it's kind of a hybrid knife, in my opinion, because you can look at it from two different aspects. You can look at it, if you're more of the tactical mindset, you can look at it as, you know, this is a tactical knife with utilitarian aspects to it. And if you're looking at it from a, you know, more civilian standpoint, more of, I'm just going to use this to cut things on, you know, on a daily basis, it's a, you know, utility blade with tactical aspects. And I think that's really cool. And also, you know, I'm not a diehard prepper or anything like that. I don't think that, you know, everybody needs to have a black belt in karate, or, you know, if you're going to leave your house, you've got to be prepared. But I mean, in today's times, you know, people are getting more and more crazy, and, you know, you are liable to get robbed or mugged or, you know, just attacked for no stinking reason. And it's more and more common every day. So, you know, it is kind of cool to have a knife like this, and to, you know, maybe not become an expert on it, but to familiarize yourself with the, you know, the recommended deployment of this knife. And I think it's cool that you can have a little bit of tactical in your pocket and still use it as, you know, a utility blade. And this is something, and just in my opinion, I mean, you pull this knife out to do a daily task, I don't see this as, you know, a threatening knife. I don't see this as scary. You know, some people may, but I see it as just, you know, a nice looking knife that does the job well, but it has the potential to become a quick deployable defense weapon. And I think that was, you know, a really cool move on Benchmade's part. And also, this is what they call the Benchmade Black class, which is, you know, geared towards, it's the professional class. It's geared towards law enforcement, military, but it does have, in my opinion, a daily application for us civilians, and for people who just strictly want to use it as a utility tool. As far as my opinion on the actual knife itself and not just the concept, I think it's an absolute amazing knife. Like, this has quickly rocketed to the top of my what I would call my grail list. This and the new version of the Freak with the M4 blade steel and the G10 handle scales. These are probably the number 1 and number 2 on the top of my short list as far as grail knives, and these fall into definitely the higher end, like the high limit of what I'm gonna spend on a knife. I mainly try and stay within the $50 to $100 range, but there are knives like these are the knives that would be the type of knife that I would save up for and buy, and it would take me a good little while, but to me it would be worth it because I'm really digging this knife. And this handle, you might think it looks a little odd, this bow handle, but I mean, the ergonomics on this guy are absolutely amazing. I absolutely love the way it feels in hand. It's got some great texturing, scalloping, machining, jimping on the handle scales. It's got a little bit of jimping right here on the back of the handle, and the jimping on the blade is not, I mean, if you really get in there, it's pretty functional, but it's not very aggressive at all, so your thumb will tend to slip if you're trying to use the tip of it. But if you use the meaty part of your thumb and you get in there, I mean, it's just a great grip. I think this is an absolutely amazing knife, and I really appreciate Zach for being so generous as to send a knife from his personal collection on a pass around, so other guys could experience it in hand and be able to, we could bring it to you guys and let you guys take a look at it and give our opinion on it and say, hey, this is what's out there. Pretty interesting knife, pretty awesome knife in my opinion. And the price I'm seeing on this guy is right around $199, so right at $200, which is, it's a little pricey in my opinion, though, for the fit and finish on this thing, the materials that they use, just how absolutely awesomely it functions. I mean, it definitely is worth the money that they're charging for it, in my opinion. And so this definitely gets the Grateful Panic seal of approval, which, as we all know, is 1 3/4 thumbs up. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I definitely enjoyed bringing it to you, and as always, please check out the links in the description and check these other channels out, because if I put them down there, it means I think they're awesome and I think you guys would really enjoy them. And besides that, let's just give these guys some support, because it's an awesome group of guys. They've got some awesome content, put out a lot of great information, and what it boils down to is these guys are highly dedicated and very passionate about the knife community. And they're not doing this for glory or money or accolades. They're doing it because they're trying to give back to a community that so freely and willingly gave to them. And I think that's what we're all trying to do here, is give a little bit of something back to you guys, and just show our appreciation for what the knife community means to us. So definitely check those guys out and give them your support. And like to say, I appreciate each and every one of you. Again, congratulations to Kevin on winning the giveaway. I saw today that the prize package arrived safely, and he's loving it, so that's really awesome. So congratulations, Kevin. There will be more giveaways coming up in the very near future, so you guys stick around for that. And again, I appreciate each and every one of you. And with that being said, this is Grateful Panic signing off. And remember, guys, stay alert, stay alive, and hey, how about do something nice for somebody today? Thanks, guys. Bye-bye.
It's a shame those boys can't be more cold possessed.